Hallo und willkommen zurück zu Production. Hier ist Robby und wir spielen weiter mit Genshin Impact. Wir sind bei Part 64. Dann hauen wir mal die ganzen Ausrufezeichen wieder weg. Das sieht doch gut aus. Ah, guck mal, nichts. Das sieht auch gut aus. Da haben wir alles, ne? Sprich mit Catherine. Genau. Imperatrix Umbrosa. Das wollen wir machen. Das wollen wir genau machen. Yep. Dann haben wir eigentlich alles. Machen wir es doch. Fangen wir direkt an. Da sagen wir Shogun Raiden, wir kommen. Aber das wird ein harter Kampf, glaube ich. Oder eine harte Legendenquest.
Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Hola.
Recently, the Adventurers Guild has received an unusual commission, and after careful consideration, we believe that
the traveler would be the most suitable candidate, right?
indeed, as ever. I will spare the pleasantries then. May I ask if you two are available to help?
Natürlich, dafür sind wir ja da.
Well, let me go over it briefly. Our client for this job is the Yashiro Commission. Apparently, Rift Towns are attacking the roots of the sacred sakura nearby Mount Yogo in great numbers.
Okay.
Rift Towns? On Narukami Island?
Yes. We are not sure where exactly these creatures come from. But this time, they are attacking in alarming numbers with great aggression and a clear target. The sacred sakura is of tremendous importance to Inazuma. I trust you are aware of this already?
Ein wenig.
Good. Then you can see that this case is very urgent indeed.
Is the Tenryu Commission aware?
Yes, and they are already taking action of their own. However, given that the sacred sakura's root system is vast and complex, and faced with the unpredictability and scale of the Rift Town's attacks, they are finding it difficult to defend against them. Their main priority is to protect the civilian population, so they are actively looking to cooperate with all other available forces to eliminate the monsters. The Adventurers Guild is one of the key parties assisting the Tenryu Commission with their work. But so far, the combined efforts to combat the Rift Towns has failed to substantially ameliorate the situation.
Zeit, ein paar Welpen zum Heulen zu bringen.
You have our deepest gratitude. Your confident response puts me far more at ease.
Mach ich doch gern.
I will mark on your map the areas where Rift Town appearances have been recently reported. I hope you won't encounter too much trouble overcoming them.
Relax. We'll be back before you can say Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Abyssos. Imperatrix Umbrosa. Wir kommen. Da oben geht's gleich los. Sehr schön. Das machen wir doch ruckizuck. Aber erstmal hier. Die schöne Sakura-Blüte. Ein Naku-Kraut. Nehme ich immer gern. Nehme ich doch gerne.
Lightning Slash!
Lightning. Oh, war ich zu schnell. Tschüss. Haben wir wieder ein Level? Heia. Wunderschön. Danke. Wie viel haben wir eigentlich? 1200. 1360 ungefähr. Heißt noch knapp 240. Oh, und hier haben wir schon 5. Sehr schön. Ui. Knapp. Den nehmen wir doch auch noch mit. Haben wir den auch erwischt? Ich glaube nicht. Nope. Nope, leider nicht. Ich komme. Wo sind die Garme? Wo sind die denn? Da. Da sehe ich doch welche.
You're attacking Sacred Sakura! Stop them!
Bin schon dabei. Ihr Nervensägen. Da. Ihr kleinen Wälbchen, kommt her. Ui. Haben mich erwischt.
I must leave no stone unturned.
Da, ein bisschen heilen. Komm her. Natürlich kommt ein großer, wäre langweilig sonst.
Lights
Lights out.
out. Time to clean up. Lightning flash.
Lightning. Da, da, da. Komm her. Geht doch. You can't run? Nicht von mir. Kollege. Judgment. Boom. Jetzt überladen, überladen, überladen. Läuft doch. Hey, du hast Leben. Immer noch. Ich kann alles. Ich mach sie alle kaputt. Ich zerstöre. Uiuiui, ich hasse die Dinger. Da. Komm her. Kommt her. Verbrennt. Ui, jetzt ist knapp. Immer noch. Hey. Ich hab dich schon vermisst.
Wait, no. Could also be A.
Paimon, weißt du es nicht? Das ist unsere Ei. Ey,
Oh, it's you two.
sag ich doch.
It has been a long time. We have not seen each other since the resolution of the Tenryou Commission crisis.
Okay, sounds more like A. It is you, right? You sure made short work of them. That was amazing.
Wie bist du denn hierher gekommen?
I'm making early preparations for what is to come.
Was Schlimmes?
Last time we took a walk around Inazuma together, I witnessed the way the world is today. I was finally able to comprehend some things that I had never understood in the past. Since then, every time I encounter an obstacle in my thinking, I find myself having the urge to spend some time in the outside world.
Makes sense. You must get super bored being stuck in there all the time.
Das stimmt.
Might I remind you that I am not here to amuse myself? Recently, I have observed a number of changes in the external world from the plane of Euthymia. The most serious of these being the attack on the sacred Sakura by numerous rift hounds. I considered this matter worthy of my attention, so I pursued them, and they led me here, where I happened to run into you.
Aber die Verwaltung und die Abenteurer können schon mit den Monstern umgehen.
If the Shogun rather than I were to discover them, yes, perhaps she would have left the situation alone.
Why? Because she's just a puppet?
Precisely. According to the rules I designed for her, matters of this nature are to be delegated to the Tri-Commission. But rift hounds attacking the sacred Sakura. It brings back bad memories of that terrible disaster.
Oh.
A disaster?
Yes. 500 years ago, a great catastrophe befell Inazuma.
Vor 500 Jahren war auch der Fall von Kanria, oder wie es heißt, oder?
Everything was engulfed in a pitch-black fog, and monsters ravaged the land. Countless lives were lost, and this homeland that the people had worked so hard to build barely escaped being obliterated entirely. The monsters committed many atrocities on Inazuman soil, and the Rift Hounds were always their advance guard. Their duty was to tear open a passage through space with their claws and teeth, and then call in even more powerful beasts.
Vor 500 Jahren. Kandria also. Ja, wie ich gedacht habe.
So you've heard of it too. That's an episode of history that I am loath to recall. Maybe to you, it seems like my response to these creatures was an excessive one. But an excess of caution is not unwarranted in this case.
Guess you can't argue with that.
Since we are both here for the same reason, let us work together.
Gerne.
From the traces they've left in the surrounding area, there should be many more monsters nearby. All of them must be eliminated.
Los geht's.
Paimon feels so safe when we're in Ace company. Having someone uber powerful on your team kind of makes you feel invincible, doesn't it? Oh yeah, after we've dealt with the monsters, we should ask her to tell us more about Conria. This color! It's similar to the color when the sacred Sakura takes damage. Let's follow it. It should be this way.
Wohin muss jetzt? Ah, die Richtung? Ja. Okay, kann nichts anklicken. Einfach weiterlaufen. Ich laufe ja schon. Wohin bringen mich diese Spuren? Vor allem, ich habe gerade Wolfsheulen gehört. Ja, da unten geht's weiter. Oh. Elektrokokkulus. Dankeschön.
We are lucky. The damage is not too serious. The Yashiro Commission will be able to nurse the root system back to health.
Schön.
This stuff that's flowing out, is it sap or something? And how come it's glowing? Huh?
Ein Geist? Ja.
What's this?
Ist jemand verletzt?
Could they be dead people? It wouldn't be the first time we'd seen ghosts on our journey.
Ja, das stimmt.
But why would they appear here?
Let's search the area. Perhaps we will find out.
I can't go on like this. Not when the other troops are counting on me.
What happened here? Could you tell us?
Who are you? What are you doing here? Run quick while you still can. The monsters will be back. And once you're in their sights, I'm telling you there's no escaping them.
Welche Monster?
We will defend Inazuma until our dying breath.
Was ist denn passiert?
You don't know? Inazuma is engulfed in darkness. Beasts and horrifying monsters are everywhere. They're merciless, ferocious, and they will devour everything in their path. Every last trace of humanity's existence, I tell you. They'll
But look, none of that seems to be going on around here.
Not right now, but they'll be back. Look, get out of here. Now! There's no time left! The almighty Shogun is gone. So is Kitsune Saigu. There is no one left to rely on but ourselves.
Kitsune Saigu ist wahrscheinlich Yaemiko, oder? Kitsune heißt Fuchs auf Japanisch. Wenn ich mich nicht ganz irre. Und Shogun ist ja Shogun halt. Aber wahrscheinlich der echte Shogun, oder? Also der Zwilling von ihr damals, schätze ich mal. Weil damals hieß ja, glaube ich, ey, Shadow of Shogun oder irgendwie sowas, ne?
I don't know how long we can hold out for. But if we abandon our hope, then we've got nothing left at all.
Don't worry, I'm right here.
It's the Shogun?
Hiya.
You're back. Please, we beg you. You have to help us. You have to save Inazuma. Only the glow of your supreme lightning can dispel this terrible darkness. Please, or the whole of Inazuma will be reduced to a hunting ground for the beasts.
Calm down. The war you speak of is over.
Over? But what do you mean? Shogun?
Look around you. The grass grows green and lush, and a soft breeze blows. This is Inazuma at peace, as you will no doubt remember. There are no monsters, nor is there anything else here that could threaten your life.
Er weiß nicht mehr, dass er tot ist, oder wie? Oder ist es nur eine Erinnerung oder irgendwie sowas?
What?
Oder er ist gefangen in seiner Erinnerung.
But how? Just moments ago, they were everywhere.
Er ist wahrscheinlich gefangen da drin.
I saw them tear my comrade to shreds with my own eyes.
Hey, calm down. Everything's fine now.
Der Arme.
Huh. I think I understand. Almighty Shogun, you saved Inazuma. Yes, we were right to place our trust in the Almighty Shogun. As long as the Shogun is with us, Inazuma will last for an eternity. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, thank you.
Der Arme.
What's wrong with him?
Verschwindet er?
He's gone.
Ja, er ist weg.
Paimon can't even begin to understand what that was all about. But somehow, Paimon feels all sad and hopeless.
If I am not mistaken, what we just saw was a samurai's memory that was buried in the land. The sacred sakura can absorb and purify the filth in the ley lines. After the Rift Hounds attacked, some of this filth leaked out through the cracks in the trunk and formed a physical entity. An entity formed with strong filth would be highly aggressive. But when purified, it presents in the form of a memory.
Also doch eine Erinnerung.
Purified filth quickly dissipates and will be absorbed by the ley lines shortly afterwards. In other words, it cannot exist for too long.
Das gleiche ist mit der kleinen Ming passiert.
So the memories of the ones that died are all appearing at this moment?
Yes. That soldier was one of the many thousands who made the ultimate sacrifice. What he was describing just now was precisely the disaster that happened in Inazuma 500 years ago.
Er erwähnte, dass der Shogun abwesend war.
Yes. Inazuma was facing many great crises at that time. Some were local in origin, while others came from the now fallen kingdom of Kanria. The disaster in Inazuma caused me great concern. I felt that I had to step in before it was too late, otherwise it would spread to all of Teyvat. But my friend, Kitsune Saiku, reassured me that I had nothing to worry about. She would shoulder the responsibility of protecting Inazuma and mobilize all forces at her disposal to combat the threat. I could tell that, although neither of us acknowledged it, we both knew that the road ahead would likely end in tragedy.
So, Inazuma was attacked at the same time as when the disaster happened in Kanria?
Was für ein Zufall, hä?
Indeed. countless monsters suddenly appeared throughout all of Inazuma. In the end, Kitsune Saigu sacrificed her life to protect the people.
Hä? Wer ist Kitsune Saigu? Ich dachte, das wäre Yae Miko. Aber doch nicht.
I never had the chance to see her one last time. But I would like to believe that she kept her promise to me until the very last. But even then, Inazuma was left more devastated than we could have ever imagined. Those terrible tragedies left great wounds that are still felt to this day, both on the land itself and in my heart.
Hey,
Ist das der Verlust, den Yae Miko erwähnt hat?
Yes. For the longest time, I couldn't bring myself to face the pain of that loss.
Hä, aber hieß ihre Schwester nicht Baal? Irgendwie sowas? Oder ist es wie Shogun Raiden? Nee, Shogun Raiden hießen beide, glaube ich, ne? Jetzt bin ich ein bisschen verwirrt.
All my martial might was in vain. Though I could conquer Tatarigami and vanquish monsters, I was helpless against the ravages of time, powerless to keep the ones I cherished alive. But after my clash with human ambition, I thought long and hard. Now I realize I cannot fixate on the past forever.
Ja. Du steckst also nicht mehr in der Vergangenheit fest.
When I traveled around Inazuma with you, I caught a glimpse of how the nation has progressed over the centuries. A glimpse of human potential. Everything far exceeded my expectations. Moving forward inevitably invites further loss, but also new encounters. Just think of that soldier. Despite all the losses he had experienced, he still chose to keep fighting for the sake of moving forward.
Ja.
All those who sacrificed themselves back then gave their lives fighting for a future. But perhaps the future they were hoping for is not the eternity that I once strove for.
Das ist es, worum es beim Menschensein geht.
As Inazuma's god, it is high time I honored their wishes. Warriors of the past, who spilled your blood on this land, your noble souls now rest in this earth. I will never forget you, and all that you did for Inazuma.
Shit.
he's taking all this pretty hard.
Come on. Let's keep investigating the damage to the sacred Sakura.
Lightning slash!
Ey, eins nach dem anderen. Ha!
Expected there are a load of rift hounds here too!
Komm her.
Leave them to me. Now you shall perish.
Da. Zerfetzen.
There is no escape.
Oh shit. Ich muss aufpassen. Aber ich sehe gerade keine tauschen.
Illusion shattered.
Something seems wrong with A.
Geht es dir gut?
Why would you ask that?
Du sahst gerade ein bisschen mitgenommen aus.
Well, usually you'd pull out your sword and swish! Vaporize them all all in one go. No?
You are unduly concerned. I'm simply conserving my energy. Although I have some understanding of the situation already, it could take an unexpected turn at any time. I must be prepared for anything. If there are more formidable monsters lying in wait in this area, I must make sure I have the strength to face them.
Ah, makes sense. Spoken like a seasoned shogun. The roots seem pretty badly damaged this time. We definitely need to tell the Yashiro Commission about this. Hey, the same light is leaking out again.
Ist das genauso wie vorher?
Furuyama? Is that you?
Almighty Shogun, what brings you back so soon? I thought you were off fighting a battle in a distant land.
Fighting a battle in a distant land? Sounds like this guy's talking about 500 years ago, too.
Ja.
Allow me to introduce Furuyama. He is a tea master and a member of my retinue. Though blind, Furuyama is unparalleled in his ability to appraise tea. He brews some of the very finest tea in all of Inazuma.
Your Excellency, you shower me with praise undeserved. I have simply had the good fortune to be in Your Excellency's presence long enough to become acquainted with all the skills that are required of me. It sounds like the Almighty Shogun has brought a guest. I'm afraid I'm unable to serve you any respectable refreshments on account of the current situation. But please, sit and rest. After all, it's quite a mess out there.
What should we do?
Tun wir einfach, was er sagt.
Yeah. Sheesh. There's monsters everywhere out there. It's pitch black and loads of people have been injured.
I see. So, they have fought their way this far already. Most of the residents in this neighborhood have already escaped. They wanted to take me with them, but it seemed rather pointless to me. So, I decided to stay. And now the Almighty Shogun is here, I have even less reason to run away.
Loyal bis zum Ende, hä?
Imagine if this was something that even the Almighty Shogun was powerless to resolve. Where could I possibly run to then?
Wie kommt es, dass du nicht in Panik gerätst?
People flee out of a desire to live on. And the desire to live on stems from a feeling of having unfinished business in life.
Also heißt es, er hat alles schon gemacht, oder wie?
But me, I have no such thoughts, and I have no regrets. The Almighty Shogun often speaks to me about her dreams over tea. Just listening to her stories. I've been blind for many years, but her vivid descriptions took me on a splendid journey to all the most beautiful places in Inazuma. Over time, I've come to understand her mindset. Quite the romantic at heart, a true dreamer. One thing she always says is, good things don't last forever. Everything changes, fades, disappears completely over the passage of time. And so, people must make the most of the life they have, seize the chance to enjoy it while it lasts, and have no regrets in the end.
Das hört sich gar nicht nach an. Das entspricht überhaupt nicht der Definition von Ewigkeit. Da war sie noch gut drauf. Da hat sie noch niemanden verloren. Das hört sich gar nicht nach an.
So you see, as bleak as things may be now, I have experienced countless wonderful things in life, and have no reason not to be satisfied.
Perhaps you are right.
It won't be long now before I have to say goodbye to the Almighty Shogun for the last time. What a pity. I'll never get to see what Inazuma looks like after the Almighty Shogun rebuilds it anew. But I suppose it doesn't matter. Everyone says that Inazuma has turned dark now. But to me, it went dark a long time ago. Once this catastrophe is over, life is sure to spring forth anew. But even if I survived until then, I'd probably be a hopelessly befuddled old so-and-so by then. So, never mind, eh?
Arme, ey.
Oh, goodness me. Speaking of befuddled, look at me rambling away to my heart's content and forgetting to serve the tea. The almighty Shogun comes to visit and I don't have the tea ready. A truly egregious loss of decorum. One moment, I'll just... Where in the world is the tea set? I hope the others didn't smash it to smithereens in their hasty departure.
Soll ich meine Kanne geben?
Can't see a tea set anywhere around here.
Really? But it's always been right by my side. Goodness gracious, what a fool I'm making of myself.
Wir wissen, wo das Teegeschirr zu finden
I
ist.
couldn't possibly have my guests fetch it themselves. That would be most discourteous indeed.
Don't worry about it. Take a rest. We'll be back right away.
Almighty Shogun, you're not going too, are you? No, no, no. Your humble servant implores you, not with the war raging outside.
This place is complicated. It's quite unlike the tea house in your memories. Leave it to us.
But, well, okay. I never thought I'd see the day that I need the almighty Shogun to personally collect my tea set for me. I can't decide whether it's a final regret or a final stroke of good fortune.
Where should we go to find a tea set? Having a cup of tea isn't exactly the most urgent thing to do right now, but at the same time, this lovely old man from 500 years ago has been through so much, and it makes Paimon so sad.
I'm also feeling very nostalgic for his tea.
Oh, why don't we go to the Kamisato estate? There'll definitely be a tea set we can borrow there.
Bestimmt. Da ist er. Wir gehen dahin, holen uns den Teleporter, dass wir wieder hierher teleportieren können. Am wichtigsten. Ich komme ja schon. Sehr schön. Immer höher. Geht doch. Anstrengend. Ich will doch nur hoch. Perfekt.
It's the Traveler. And the almighty Shogun. How might I be of assistance, Your Excellency?
I wish to borrow a tea set from the Yashiro Commission.
Oh, sure. I'll fetch that for you right away. Please step into the courtyard and have a rest, almighty Shogun. Oh, and I'll inform my lord about your visit immediately. Ah, and the tea set. I'll bring that here as soon as it's ready.
Be at ease. I'm not here to see Commissioner Kamisato. Actually, I'd prefer to spend this time chatting with the Traveler. Please, fetch the tea set at your convenience.
No. I am your humble servant. I daren't think of my own convenience when the almighty Shogun graces me with her presence. I'll deal with it right away.
Well, it's not often we have the chance to chat. I'm sure you must have a lot of questions.
Hat der Teemeister tatsächlich für dich den Tee gemacht?
Right. Paimon wanted to ask that too. The almighty Shogun that he described ride didn't sound anything like you at all.
I seldom had the time to drink tea. Any free time I had was spent practicing martial arts. So, in the vast majority of cases, the one he made tea for was the former Electro Archon, who was also my sister, Raiden Makoto.
Also Raiden ist dann der Nachname von denen. Raiden Shogun, Raiden Makoto.
He may well have had an inkling about there being two Raiden Shoguns, but he always acted as if he was completely unaware of it. The philosophy of life that he shared with us just now, that was Makoto's view on reality. She always saw things that way.
Und ist jetzt Kitsune? Ich check's nicht mehr.
You and Makoto had pretty different views, huh?
Indeed we did. It was the biggest difference between us. In her eyes, the most precious things in this world were dreams. The yearning for a better future held by living beings.
Damit ist doch das Begehren gemeint, oder?
They are similar, but not identical. When you came charging into the plane of Euthymia, I saw human aspirations light up the sky far above in the form of countless stars. This somewhat shook me. Now, it seems like she was right, while I took the wayward path.
Wow. There sure was a lot going on beneath the surface.
Makoto saw a bigger picture than I did. In her view, a dream is more imaginary, more abstract than an ambition. An ambition is a yearning for something material, or a concrete outcome. It is finite in nature, and will be replaced by a new ambition in due course. Makoto was more concerned with the force that drives humans to constantly generate new ambitions in the first place. It is something innate, rooted in instinct. In other words, it is something eternal.
That's, quite a lot to take in.
Ja.
To put it simply, Makoto wasn't concerned about outcomes.
Der Weg ist es, hä?
I didn't understand at the time. How can we say that we are maintaining eternity when things are constantly moving forward and evolving? I suppose what it comes down to is the definition of eternity she set out with.
Das entspricht eher der Sichtweise der Menschen auf die Welt.
Yes, it does. I always thought that she must have grasped some elusive, arcane wisdom to arrive at the conclusions she did. But in the last analysis, Makoto's philosophy was, on the surface at least, an elegantly simple one. Notwithstanding that it was also the more prudent choice, based on a more mature, far-sighted outlook.
Do you feel you're starting to understand her better now?
Ein bisschen, oder? Wenigstens ein bisschen.
You have already witnessed my previous views on eternity. But now, I no longer cling to what was lost. I suppose that means our differences have been reconciled.
Almighty Shogun, I found a tea set. This one in particular should be fit for your Excellency's use.
It's quite beautiful. Thank you.
You are too kind. A humble servant such as I does not deserve the gratitude of the Almighty Shogun.
It's all good, sir. She's actually pretty chill.
Let us return. We ought not keep Furuyama waiting too long.
Back. Gehen wir back zu unserem Teemeister. Hallo. Ich bin's. So, warte mal. Lass mal kurz heilen. Falls diese Viecher kommen. Schadet nicht, ein bisschen volles Leben zu haben. So. Furuyama, ich komme. Also Furi Furi. Furi Furi Fafa, Furu Furu Fifi. Ich komme.
Hey, where'd he go?
Hat er sich verlaufen.
He wouldn't have gone looking for a tea set himself, would he?
Ich würde es ihm zutrauen.
Or perhaps the ley lines did not have the power to sustain him for very long, as was the case with the memory we saw earlier.
So we won't get to drink his tea?
Ja, aber kann ein Geist Tee machen?
We didn't even have a chance to say goodbye.
Oh.
The information held in the ley lines is complex and disorderly. The fact that we were able to meet him to begin with was a miracle of fate.
Kopf hoch, Paimon.
Well, this chance won't come often, and we do have a tea set. Perhaps I should try my hand at making us a pot of tea.
Oh.
I've watched Furuyama brew tea on many occasions. I doubt I should have any major problems doing it myself.
Wahrscheinlich schafft sie das, dass das Feuer gleich anfängt zu brennen, das Wasser gleich anfängt zu brennen. Oder schmeckt einfach nur nach Wasser.
The tea is ready. Please give it a try.
Wahrscheinlich Gift.
So many thoughts were racing through my head as I was brewing it. I'm not sure how to explain it.
Das brauchst du nicht, ich verstehe das.
You're right. But the things we've seen today have brought back many memories for me. I've been reminded of many people, too. Kitsune Saigu, Makoto, and all the other friends who I watched pass even further back.
Wer ist Kitsune Saigo, will ich jetzt wissen.
Back at the Yashiro Commission, I kept the conversation reasonably light-hearted. But now, I'd like to broach a heavier topic, if I may.
Ah, vielleicht hatte sie mehrere solche Yaemiko und vielleicht waren es mehrere Füchse oder sowas. Oder so wie bei Venti. Drache, Wolf.
The events of 500 years ago not only robbed me of my friend, Kitsune Saigu, they also took Makoto away from me, for good.
Ah, so wie für... Vielleicht war Yaemiko Makoto ihre Freundin und Kitsune Saigo war vielleicht Ace Freundin.
She died in that disaster too?
Yes. She went to Conria alone, without telling me.
Hm.
Unlike me, Makoto was no martial artist. Whenever similar crises had arisen in the past, I was always the one to face them in her stead.
Wieso ist sie dann gegangen?
But this time, the circumstances were so grave that Makoto had no choice but to leave me behind. Or perhaps it was more that she went ahead of me, put herself in front of me, so that I would remain hidden. In any case, by the time I realized what was happening,
Makoto hatte also bereits...
yes, it was too late. I arrived only in time to hear her dying breath.
Oh, die arme A. Alter.
She had already lapsed into unconsciousness by that point, so all I could do was enter into her mind. As far as you're concerned, it would be somewhere similar to the plane of Euthymia. It was there that we bid each other a final farewell. I cried bitterly. Even in those final moments, I couldn't understand her actions. Why did she go to Conria first, and not I? Why did she keep me in the dark about it? Was it to shield me?
Sie hat bestimmt irgendwas gewusst, was da passiert ist. Weil, sind da nicht mehrere gestorben? Venti hat, glaube ich, die überlebt. Zhongli war da. Sumeru. Also, Nahida ist zu jung gewesen, glaube ich. Furina. Story kennen wir nicht, aber so wie es sich anfühlt, war sie auch nicht dort. Dann waren es eigentlich nur Venti und Zhongli bis jetzt, ne? Und die anderen beiden kennen wir noch nicht.
It was there and then that I resolved to pursue eternity. As a testament to that decision, I saved her realm of consciousness just before it collapsed completely and brought it back to Inazuma.
That's quite a story.
When I returned to Inazuma, I was shocked to find that a great sakura tree had appeared on Mount Yogo. The tree that you know as the sacred sakura.
Die heilige Sakura war doch schon immer da, oder?
That's exactly what everyone back then told me as well. That it had existed since time immemorial. They were so matter-of-fact about it, and couldn't at all understand what I was so surprised about. No one questioned it, and yet its presence contrasted so starkly with the area as I remembered it. It seemed as if I was the only one to have noticed it appear suddenly out of thin air. In the end, I simply had to accept that it was a miraculous effect of Makoto's consciousness. With the help of the sacred Sakura's power, I was finally able to overcome the monsters and quell the disaster in Inazuma.
This is all really hard to understand. Kinda beyond Paimon's level.
Einfach ausgedrückt, Makotos Kraft hat den Baum irgendwie zum Vorschein gebracht.
Yes. She had such a great love for this land and for its people. In this respect, I still do not compare to her. I once told myself that I would never speak of these events again. Facing the fact that she is gone is unbearably painful. But even the tea that is most bitter to the tongue, once swallowed, leaves some sweetness in the throat. And it's time I came to terms with it all.
Es scheint, als hättest du schon viel darüber nachgedacht.
Oh, while we're on the topic, since you experienced that battle in person,
Hast du meinen Bruder schon mal gesehen?
Brother? I had heard that you were looking for your family. You mean to say that he was somehow involved in the Conria disaster?
Er war der Anführer wahrscheinlich.
based on what we've learned so far, it seems so, yeah.
Oder ist er schon nach dem Krieg der Anführer geworden des Abgrunds? Nee, wahrscheinlich nach dem Krieg. Sonst wäre er wahrscheinlich auch gestorben, wenn er da mittendrin wäre, oder?
I'm sorry. I wasn't there for the whole thing. By the time I arrived, the worst of the fighting was already over.
Oder vielleicht war er doch voll drin und hat mit Ding zusammengekämpft, mit Daneslave. Vielleicht haben die zusammen da gekämpft gegen die Archons.
And also, my mind was consumed entirely with the plight of Inazuma and the fate of those closest to me. So, I am afraid I can't help you.
Oh, well, that's a shame. But it can't be helped, I guess. Boy, both of you have experienced great tragedy.
With this last cup of tea, let us honor the Tea Master's memory.
Mach mal.
Thank you, Destiny, for giving us the chance to meet again.
We should go. Let's keep following the traces.
Very well. Based on my investigation so far, I believe this next pack of monsters should be the last.
Eine Tasse Tee steht für Furuyama bereit. Wie viel hat er tatsächlich wahrgenommen und wie viel hat er sich anmerken lassen? Nee, das ist auch nichts. Hm. Oder muss ich doch dahin? Ah, da. Ich folge ja schon, ich folge ja schon. Ja, okay. Müssen wir runter?
I must leave no stone unturned.
Nichts. Gib mir deine Steinchen.
Someone needs assistance.
Okay, da geht's weiter. Da hinten auch. Sieht gut aus.
I'll catch up.
Dann nein. Oh, ich sehe sie schon. Ich sehe sie. Vernichten wir sie.
Once again, please leave them to me.
Natürlich.
Hey, are you sure you're all right? You're scaring us.
Fear not. Fighting is what I do best. Shine down!
Shine down. Oh, daneben. Voll erwischt. Komm her.
Illusion shattered!
Ey. Geht doch. Was ist das?
Are you all right?
I'm fine. There is no escape.
Komm, gib ihm. Gib ihm. Ich steck schon wieder fest. Ey.
Inazuma shines eternal.
Die bleibt immer hängen.
Maybe you should leave this one to us.
Dir scheint es schlecht zu gehen. Beruhig dich.
My apologies.
Don't worry about it. Just take a breather and get your strength back.
Genau.
We'll deal with the monsters.
Let's go. Oh, kommen Geister.
That's the same light again.
Zeit für eine weitere Reise in die Vergangenheit.
Where am I? Who are you? Almighty Shogun, you're here too. Are you injured, Your Excellency?
I'm quite all right. Just feeling a little stiff.
We, the Shogunate Samurai, will defend the Shogun until the very end.
Come on, men. They're coming back for more. Let's get them.
Don't! It's too dangerous.
Danger is our duty, ma'am. If we were the kinds to shy away from danger, we never would have taken up arms to begin with.
Ehrenmänner.
No need to worry, Almighty Shogun. When the situation looks bleak, we will draw on the power granted to us by the gods.
Haben die auch Visions?
Is that a vision?
Ja, sieht so aus.
It certainly is. I know the gods are omnipotent, and their willingness to grant their power to humans means they have high expectations for us. If the almighty Shogun is in trouble, now of all times is the moment for us to honor that.
Genau.
So that's how samurai of that era understood visions, huh?
So voller Hoffnung.
Nobody knew where your excellency had gone, and we were starting to despair. But now we've found you. You're right here with us. Just the sight of you appearing before us once more has reignited the hope in our hearts. This hope is the light that will guide us out from the darkness.
Everyone, on me!
We'll help too!
Let's go.
Huh? Affirmative, but watch your backs.
Protect the almighty Shogun!
Time to clean up.
Let's go. Kommt her, ihr Nervensägen. Achso. Ich dachte schon, ich muss die alle besiegen. Komm. Wir machen die schnell kaputt. Immer schön überladen. Nochmal welche? Okay. Uiuiui. Nerven die schon wieder. Da. Da. Voll rein. Mit voller Wucht. Aber. Boom. Hier, hier, hier. Verbrenne. Ein bisschen Eis rein. Wieder ein bisschen heilen. Aber ja. Ist hier nix. Judgment. Jetzt komm. Ich verfackel ihn. Geht doch.
It seems like their attacks are finally over.
I've never fought so fiercely before.
Thank you all.
Kein Problem.
Are you okay? Maybe you should keep resting.
I'm fine. I feel much better already.
Das glaube ich irgendwie nicht.
You fought phenomenally. It was truly awe-inspiring.
Kein Problem.
The monsters will definitely come back. And when they do, it'll be more than a few Rift Hounds this time. Quickly, escort Her Excellency back to Inazuma City, and regroup with the General's forces as soon as possible.
When everyone sees the almighty Shogun safely returning, their spirits will be lifted.
Well, what are you guys gonna do?
We will stay here and guard against the monsters' advance. We cannot afford to let them get any further. We are brothers in arms. As long as we stick together, we can face any number of monsters that come our way.
Nicht schlecht. Was ist Elektro? Eis und Wind, hä? Ja, ihr seid leider hier gestorben, wie es aussieht, ne? Wir haben kein Recht, die Realität zu stören, die sie erleben.
Just leave it to us. Fighting is what we do best.
Die wurden überrannt, hä?
But the almighty Shogun is the only one of us with the power to change the present state of affairs. Only Her Excellency can turn back the tide of despair and lead us onward into the future. No matter what kind of threat faces Inazuma, we will always place our faith in the almighty Shogun.
Die Arme.
Thank you all very much. I promise you that I will create a bright future for Inazuma. I should not have left it this late to make this promise. But from this moment forth, know that I shall be true to my word.
Ja. Besser jetzt als nie, ne?
Don't worry, Your Excellency. We will never doubt your word as long as we live. With you leading us, we will claim back everything that Inazuma has lost.
Theoretisch auch jetzt im Tod glaubt ihr an sie, ne? Auch wenn es nur Erinnerungen sind.
Glory to the Shogun! Glory to the Shogun!
They're gone.
War das ein Versprechen an sie?
It was both. The people's sacrifice has always caused me immense pain. But in dwelling on the tragedy, I overlooked their splendor. The grief blinded me to how brightly they shone in their final moments.
Ja.
The result being that in the centuries since their sacrifice, I have dishonored their will. You could take the view that whatever I say to them is meaningless, because they are but disembodied memories held in the ley lines. But even so, they are due a resolution. I owe it to them, and to all the people who have placed their faith in me to date.
Ja.
Well, Paimon thinks that even if it's a few hundred years later, you're doing right by them now, and that's what counts.
Genau.
Thank you for your comforting words. But this is my basic duty as Inazuma's Archon, and I have neglected it for far too long. I used to think just like that samurai, that I was first and foremost a warrior, and my only duty was to face whatever challenge came my way. But what Inazuma needs more than a warrior is someone like Makoto. Even though I am utterly unlike Makoto, and can never become the person she was, I still need to do the things that she would have done.
Die Menschen sind deines Vertrauens würdig.
Yes, they are. They are strong and resilient, and have much to be proud of. As the Raiden Shogun they revere, I should not be the one to hold them back.
Well said. Sounds to Paimon like you figured things out.
Change will come to Inazuma, and with it, new possibilities. This will take time, but eventually, the future will bring healing to the scars of the past. No matter how long it takes, I am committed to bringing this to fruition. This is my promise. Now that we've dealt with the Rift Hounds, this matter is halfway resolved. It does not appear that the threat will escalate for the time being. I will leave the Tenryo and Yashiro commissions to handle the follow-up work, such as investigating the origins of this incident and tending to the root system.
Alrighty then, let's move on.
Wo geht's hin?
It looks calm on the outside, but Paimon bets her emotions must be all over the place right now, huh? She seems to have changed a lot since we last met her. Huh? What's wrong, eh? Come on, keep up.
Irgendwas stimmt nicht, hä? Ey!
What's going on? Are you feeling unwell again?
My body... I can't move it. It looks like the situation is more serious than I thought.
Wir sollten dich zurück in die Stadt bringen.
No need. She is calling me. The time has come. Can you help me walk?
Ja, klar.
I need to go to the cave below the Grand Narukami Shrine.
Why? What's in there?
A battleground. One where I shall sever ties with the past and take the first steps into the future.
Let's go. Aber zuerst. Hier waren noch Bling-Blings. Oh, doch nix. Ich dachte, hier wären Bling-Blings gewesen. Naja. Dann gehen wir dahin. Wo muss ich hin? Nach unten. 100 Meter in die Richtung. Schauen wir mal. Einmal um den Berg fliegen. Nehmen wir die Beeren mit. Oh, ich hab's gefunden. Zack. Geht zur Höhle unter dem großen Narukami-Schrein. Bin ich. Wie komme ich da rein? Hier ist kein Ding zum Reingehen. Nope. Hm. Ja, wie komme ich da rein? Hallo. Brauche ich diese Linse? Aber die habe ich noch gar nicht. Wo kriege ich die her? Ich kann mich noch erinnern, bei meinem anderen Account hatte ich eine Linse. Da konnte ich solche Füchse anschauen. Was muss ich gerade machen? Geh zur Höhle unter dem großen Narukami-Schrein. Ja, aber da komme ich nicht rein. Was jetzt? Und wo krieg ich die blöde Linse? Das ist doch scheiße. Ich finde ja auch irgendein... Da ist eins. Kann ich es mit dem versuchen? Vielleicht komme ich auch so rein, ohne den Fuchs. Versuchen wir's. Lass mich nein. Ah ja, geht doch. Ich dachte schon.
Here. The entrance should be nearby.
Whoa! Where'd the Torii Gate come from?
Geht es dir gut?
It's getting worse again. But it's fine. I'm about to put an end to it all. This is a place I once sealed off with my own hands. The entrance to Raiden Makoto's realm of consciousness.
Okay.
It looks like she will no longer allow me to do with this body as I please.
Huh? What are you talking about? And who is she? Makoto?
Nee, kann nicht sein, oder? Die Puppe war es, glaube ich, oder? Weg sind wir.
Paimon's dizzy. Where did we get sucked into this time? Whoa. This place.
Das sieht den utopischen Gefilde sehr ähnlich.
Look over there. It's another A.
Ja, Shogun Raiden.
We meet again, traveler. This body is an assistant to the one within, but it is also the guardian of the rules.
Und die sind jetzt angepisst.
Should the one within wish to stray from the rules, this body shall stand in her way.
Let's go.
Wait. Paimon knows that voice. Is that the puppet?
You have wandered the realm in my body, and you appear to have grasped the true essence of eternity. You believe your present self has greater certainty than your former self. Thus, you believe your present self is correct, don't you?
Ja.
But have you really been enlightened with new ideas? Or have you been degraded by irreversible erosion?
Wie kann das eine Puppe urteilen, hä?
I'm here to show you my answer.
Let's go.
We are both warriors, and the dialogue we must now have shall be conducted by the blade alone.
Los geht's.
Wait. The atmosphere in here just took a turn for the worse. Are you alright now?
The discomfort I was experiencing earlier was caused by the Shogun rejecting my continued use of her body. As she indicates, once I started entertaining the idea of change, I became hostile in her eyes. But inside a realm of consciousness, I exist independently of her. She cannot affect me in this way.
Let's go.
Though she is a puppet, the Shogun has her own consciousness too. When necessary, she appears here to confront me.
Ich glaube, du hast das schon mal erwähnt.
Paimon gets that everyone has their internal battles and stuff, but not like this. It's a bit extreme. Hey, showdown with the Shogun? Never thought we'd see that day.
The rules I set for the Shogun are... No. The Shogun herself is the manifestation of my past ideals. The very foundation stone of eternity. It shall not be easily swayed. I would not try to change her if it wasn't necessary.
Isn't there any other way? Can't you talk it through or something?
Er ist niemand, der sich einem Fluchtweg offen lässt.
But they both just want the best for Inazuma.
My form is a symbol of supreme majesty, in which has been vested power over all the realm. It is the cohesive embodiment of all that constitutes the Raiden Shogun. It inherits A's pain, the pain of inevitable loss that comes as she moves forward. So too does it inherit her determination to reach eternity. Every action undertaken is for the sake of resisting erosion. Determination, courage, love, hatred, all of these will be degraded and distorted by the incessant flow of time. Only rules shall remain constant for eternity.
Nee.
Those were my thoughts when I created you. Now, they are towering obstacles that I have no choice but to overcome. You wish to make yourself my enemy?
Yes.
I am your past, the everlasting law, the guardian of eternity.
Ein Relikt.
And I am she who promised a dream to her subjects. Raiden A.
Let's go. Zu viele Raidens.
In the end, even the proud and mighty Oni maiden was cut down.
Ui. Ich tue aber einiges ab,
The
ja?
blade has been cleansed of her blood and filth. Never shall it shine as brightly as it once did.
Ui.
Weak, pathetic, weak.
Weak. Komm her.
This ends now. Ha! There is no escape.
Komm
Now
her.
you shall perish. The
Da.
sakura blossoms that once filled the skies fell to the ground as pitch black
Oh,
rain.
hier teilt sie sich wieder.
As long as the ley lines flow, the relentless erosion of time will never stop.
She's completely recovered?
Inazuma shines
Komm her.
eternal.
Jetzt machen wir schnell.
Ha!
Wo ist sie schon wieder?
There is no escape.
Ui,
Absurd.
jetzt teilt sie schon wieder raus.
Weak. Shine down.
Ey. Wo bist du?
Thunder. Your verdict is decided. The divine lightning that envelops all
Jetzt
of
teilt sie schon wieder.
will fade silently into the clouds. There shall never be another. Never. For the rest
Nee.
of time.
Das vielleicht kann ich blocken oder zerstören, aber nee. Geht gar nicht.
Transcending. Ha! There is no escape.
Komm her. Komm her. Wie oft muss ich dich killen? Ui.
Inazuma shines
Komm.
eternal.
Jetzt geht doch. Zweimal.
Crumbles before
You finally defeated her?
Ich hoff's doch.
It appears your martial prowess has not dulled. But how long can your will remain strong?
Für immer. Die Shogun-Puppe ist doch nicht unbesiegbar.
In this realm of consciousness, her existence is tenacious indeed. She was built to resist erosion. Her will is stronger than any other living being's, including you and me.
Then, does that mean this is gonna be a never-ending battle?
Maybe. But I have to prove to her that my present will is no product of erosion. The future I shall forge will be a grand undertaking, one that will be resistant to erosion. If I don't do this, the Shogun's rules can never change, and Inazuma can never move forward. This is my duty. No matter how long this battle may last, months, years, centuries, and no matter how many times we must fight, I will defeat her.
Was wird in der Zwischenzeit mit Inazuma passieren?
500 years ago, humanity proved their strength in battle. Here in the present, they rely on their ambition to challenge wayward practices, tear them out like the diseased wood of an old sakura tree, so that new, healthy branches might spring to life in their place. It is about time that I learned to trust them.
Aber kannst du es ertragen, die Menschheit sich selbst zu überlassen? Alle blicken auf den Shogun als Hoffnungsträger.
I understand that. But if the dreams of which Makoto spoke are true eternity, a short moment for which the Shogun does not exist is nothing to fear. I fight for the everlasting future of Inazuma. However long the battle may last, it is but a drop in the ocean of eternity. I vow to the subjects of Inazuma that I shall one day return. This is my oath. Please, be my witness.
Auf jeden Fall.
During my absence, I place everything in Miko's hands.
But this means that...
Pass on my words.
Ey!
Looks like we got kicked out. Oh, what do we do? Are we really just gonna leave A and the Shogun to keep on duking it out in there forever? She was making sense, and maybe this is the only way to change the Shogun's rules, but still...
Er hat keinen physischen Körper mehr und ist auf den Shogun angewiesen.
Right? Also, A can be pretty stubborn at times, and has a history of rushing into difficult situations. too obsessed with winning, and she forgets why she's there in the first place. It could happen, and then she might never leave again.
Wir werden sie noch nicht verlassen.
Yeah, we should help her out, like we did last time. The quicker she gets through this, the better. Is there any way we can cut down how long she needs to spend in there? Or, you know, help her win the fight? Well, whatever. We can't let anything bad happen to A while she's in there. Oh, but we also can't get in there anymore. Okay, well, first things first. We gotta find a way back in. Oh, come on, brain juice. Don't feel Paimon now. Okay. Maybe if we both ram into it at the same time really, really hard.
Wir müssen mit Yaemiko sprechen.
Oh, you're right. Paimon nearly forgot about her. Who knows if she really understands these consciousness realm plane thingies more than we do, but there's no one else we can turn to. All right, up the mountain we go.
Let's go. Ich muss gar nicht laufen, ne? Miko! Ich brauch dich!
Someone's not in the best of moods. Let me guess. You're all tangled up in another situation and need me to unravel it for you. I hope you realize how lucky you are. If it was anyone else, I don't think I'd have the patience to keep greeting them with a smile after the first few times.
Ey, ich will deiner Freundin helfen.
You're always smiling.
That was a figure of speech, do you understand? Nitpicking my turns of phrase. The sheer audacity.
Paimon, komm auf den Punkt.
Oh, yeah. Something really big's happened. It's A. She...
Oh, okay, I see. So, A's decided to palm Inazuma off on the humans, while she goes off on her own to fight a fierce battle that doesn't even have an end date.
Yep.
Impossibly stubborn. Jumps straight to the most extreme course of action imaginable. Presumes her sheer will can see her through, despite a near impossible goal that requires nothing short of the very peak of her abilities. Yes, that sounds like A all right. You know as well as I do that she's always been like this. Why start fretting about it now?
Dieses Duell ist ernster als alles bisher das Dagewesene.
Rushed into it without thinking. Well put. Oh, she acts like such a child sometimes. So you seem to be under the impression that I am able to offer some sort of help? Who gave you that idea?
Is she playing dumb? She's doing this on purpose, for sure.
Uh-huh. You're learning, little one. But really, the truth of the matter is that I don't know much more about Raiden Makoto's realm of consciousness than you do. All I know is that it's the foundation of the sacred Sakura, and from what I've heard, it's a little different from A's plane of euthymia.
Because Raiden Makoto is no longer alive?
Not just because of that. The nature of the space itself is different in some way. But I can only speculate. You're the ones who have actually been there, so you tell me. What was it like?
Ich habe keine Unterschiede bemerkt.
Anyway, we needn't worry about the details too much. It'll just be a little difficult to explain things later on, that's all. First things first. Follow me to the entrance.
Take this!
Take this! Müssen wir wieder runter. Ich komme ja schon.
Now then, I always have my ways. It's just a question of how crafty I need to be. To the outsider, the realm of consciousness is a very abstract concept.
Luckily, I'm A's familiar, so I can sense her rough whereabouts. In other words, even though I can't pinpoint the exact spatial location of this realm, I can still send you to where A is.
Let's go.
So, it's abstract, but has a location, but you don't know where it is, but you can still send us there. What?
Suspicious, gell?
Yes, no need to try and understand it. Let me put this simply. Right now, she is surrounded by chaos. Everything is turbulent and disordered. If you try to force your way in, you could be swept away by a giant wave that sets you down in an unknown corner of space-time. This is precisely why when entering the plane of Euthymia, it's much safer if you place your consciousness in a physical object first.
What? Alright, well, Paimon, stay here then. You two can go in.
Paimon, du wirst mich doch nicht im Stich lassen, oder?
Suit yourself. Worst case scenario, all we stand to lose is A. So what's the big deal?
Paimon's had it up to here with both of you! Oh, fine. Paimon's coming too.
Genau.
Oh, well, if you're quite sure, then of course. Now, I shall send you on your way.
Let's go.
I say.
Was ist denn?
Oh, nothing. It just seems extraordinarily chaotic, that's all. My suspicions have been confirmed. By the way, remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside. Only a strong enough will can prevent you from being swallowed by the giant waves of abstract space. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination.
Ja, sicher doch.
Well then, the door is open. Hop on in. I'll stay outside and provide what stability I can. I'll be ready to respond if anything happens. I'm placing my god in your capable hands.
Wie immer, hä?
For my sake and for Inazuma's, please. Bring her back.
Ei, ei.
Rico, you better know what you're doing.
Wir werden nicht scheitern.
That's enough chatter. Get to work.
Let's go. Komm, Neider. Genau, mit Gewalt durch den Spalt. Mit Getöse in die Möse. Heißt das so?
Remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside.
Genau. Komm, in den
Only
Spalt.
if you are strong enough can I
Rein da.
deliver you to the right destination.
Sieht alles gleich aus, hä? Jetzt rein da. Kämpfen die immer noch, hä? Hello.
How can this be? You have returned. But how were you able to get back in? And how come you have not changed at all in all these years?
All den Jahren, was?
This is a duel to remember. It is as if we have returned to the moment when the laws of eternity were first established. Your will today is as strong as it was back then. Over countless battles, not once have you lost, and never have you shown the slightest hesitation.
So muss sein.
Had I made all enemies of eternity stand against you, you still would not have wavered. For your firm commitment to enforcing the rules, you have my admiration too. You bring honor to the title of Guardian of Eternity. Now these two return once more to this space. An inevitability of fate, perhaps. Then, let this be our final duel. The conclusion to that which began 500 years ago.
Oha.
Final duel? So you're finally willing to... Stand back, traveler.
Wirst du dem Ganzen ein Ende setzen?
I'm going to be the start of something new. The time our duels took to fight was long enough to witness the rise and fall of nations.
Oh.
The energy they consumed, great enough to vaporize the oceans and turn day into night.
Jetzt geht's ja ab, ey.
And the will they demanded, sufficient to penetrate minds and crush
Garme.
Yet, you have endured.
Gib ihm.
I will endure forever.
Genau.
Witness the final
Nein.
calamity.
Nix da. Easy. Ich hab's irgendwie viel schwerer im Kopf gehabt. Viel, viel schwerer.
This is the end. You have won.
Nice.
I believed you were incapable of transcending the past. But it seems my belief was baseless, and I underestimated your spirit. But a will that cannot be eroded has no way to embrace the future. You need not worry about the future, and you aren't alone. I know your power more than anyone else. Had I relied upon my strength alone, I would have lost this duel for sure. Yet, my reason for fighting redefined my martial prowess and redrew my limits. I now carry the gaze of the myriad of expectant eyes that look to the light in the heavens. And whenever I think of this, I feel something stirring within Musou Ishin. The blade that I inherited from Makoto seems to be trying to guide me, to encourage me. I noticed it also. Just now in the heat of battle, it seemed to unleash a new and unfamiliar power.
Nice.
This power is beyond the limits of my understanding. This blade belonged to Makoto. Perhaps it can only respond to me with its full power when I truly understand and believe in her. When I clasped Musou Ishin in my hands, I had the feeling that she was by my side once again.
Vielleicht ist ihr Bewusstsein in dem Schwert.
It was at once a familiar feeling and a strange one. Makoto barely wielded a blade in her life, and yet her blade brings me closer to her.
Ja, vielleicht will das Schwert dich beschützen, ne?
You have my approval. Your present will is not the product of erosion. I shall no longer stop you from attempting to modify the rules. From this day forth, this body will remain your assistant. I won't design any more rules that can never be changed. You used to represent my past, but from today onward, you are me. Makoto never saw me as a fearless weapon. Likewise, I should not regard you as a mere tool. You truly have changed. I suppose this is what humans call growth. I understand. I shall become your shadow, just as you were once Makoto's shadow.
Nice.
The duties I perform will not change. But as a warrior, I look forward to the chance to fight like this again in the future.
Aber jetzt sind beide. Also, es sind jetzt die gleiche Person, also beide mögen jetzt kämpfen, ne? Davor waren es Zwillinge auch, kann man sagen. Bloß die hatten verschiedene Charaktere. Jetzt sind es jetzt wirkliche Klone. Mit Verhalten und sowas, ne?
Do you say this because you have not yet reconciled yourself with your defeat?
Beide sind stur, hä?
It was simply a new experience for me. One that is worth reliving.
Have you finished fighting then? Like, for real this time?
Hmm?
Das Musuishin leuchtet.
Hello, A. And greetings, those who have come to bear witness.
Makoto?
I am Raiden Makoto, the previous Electro Archon, who failed in my duties and left you all to pick up the pieces. Makoto? I'm so happy. You've come so far. I always knew you would make it here in the end. I left a faint fragment of my will in Musuishin, so that in the moment that you unleashed its full power, I too would be released. A convoluted way to reach you, but... well, you held such deeply entrenched views at the time that you wouldn't have listened to a word I said. There was no time to wait for you to have a change of heart. Please forgive me. All I could do was find some way to wait until you came to me. But... you never mentioned this to me. Everything happened so suddenly. I'm sorry. I've always felt terrible for having to entrust Inazuma to you all of a sudden. I should have been the one to impart these ideas to you, a little at a time, to dissuade you from your pursuit of stillness. Did you know what was about to happen in Conria?
Ja, auf jeden Fall. Habe ich schon vermutet.
I had some sense of it. That place was not somewhere that any Archon could afford to ignore.
Mhm.
In my present form, I can no longer perceive time. I don't know how long we have been separated before this reunion, and I don't know what Inazuma has experienced in the meantime. But I know that this must have been an extremely arduous journey for you. And I'm sure you must have wanted to shed tears many times along the way.
Hat sie auch, ja?
Don't look down on me. See? You admit it. It was with this possibility in mind that I left a parting gift for you. Something to soothe Inazuma's pain. Here, take it, before my last shred of consciousness fades away. But it is you who must take the most important step.
The light turned into a seed?
The miracle tree that blesses the people, in this moment new to the world and yet to be known. When to plant it, where it shall bloom. She who brings it into being must let her heart and dreams decide. Grant it life, eh? Is it really? Eternity extends time into infinity. Dreams illuminate each moment within. When both shine in unison, the sacred Sakura blooms from the darkness, finally free from the clutches of the heavenly principles. Now the nightmare has dissipated, and reality is made whole. The vision we both yearn for is still further ahead. My only regret is that I cannot witness Inazuma's future, nor can I walk this journey with you. Do you know, A? I am so happy right now, because my final wish has now come true. Your polearm once protected me from countless calamities. For this, I've always felt indebted to you. Though I could never repay you in full, this sacred Sakura will buy you some time until you are ready to awaken and embrace the new. What do you think? Did it do the trick? This time, it really is goodbye, eh?
Arme, ey.
Goodbye, Makoto.
Nachdem du das Reich des Bewusstseins ist zu schnell wieder.
So the A of the present planted the sacred sakura in the realm of consciousness, and it took root in the Inazuma of the past.
Genau. Alles verwirrend, hä?
No matter what you make of it, it's quite incredible.
All of this is thanks to Makoto's power. Her understanding of eternity is much more profound than mine.
Ja. Sie hat einfach Zeit und Raum verwirrt oder wie sagt man, gedehnt.
Eternity is a concept intimately connected with time. When you begin to touch on eternity, the concept of time becomes murky.
Ja. Ich sah wunderbare Dinge an diesem Ort. Die Zeit bewegte sich vorwärts und rückwärts zur gleichen Zeit.
A place where time is meaningless and cannot be understood with ordinary logic. So that was the turbulence I was sensing. Perhaps that is the reason why you were able to return precisely to this point in time without any problems. And yet, that sense of disorderliness has now completely disappeared.
I don't fully understand yet. But my intuition tells me that the reason for everything, it's that seed.
Well, I'm not convinced that it was Makoto's power alone.
Ich glaube auch nicht. Vor 500 Jahren. Ich weiß jetzt nicht mehr, ob es bei Sumeru die Ältere beim Krieg war oder Nahida nach den 500 Jahren geboren ist oder davor. Nee, ich weiß es gar nicht. Wer bei Kanrea dabei war in Sumeru. Also der Dendro Archon. Müssen wir dann nochmal gucken, die Story.
I know what you mean. Perhaps a higher power really was involved in all of this. But whatever the explanation, her solution is what saved us all.
Weil die hat ja auch so ein. Zwar nicht so ein Vermixen von Raum und Zeit, aber. Da war auch irgendwas mit. Oder waren es mit den Träumen und. Er weiß gar nicht mehr.
Without the sacred Sakura, Inazuma would likely have been completely swallowed up centuries ago by that disaster and the filth.
I know you've always perceived there was something special about the sacred sakura, but to me, it has always been there. You've tried in the past to prove to me that there's a connection between the sacred sakura and Makoto's consciousness, but unfortunately, you never did persuade me, did you?
No, but I understand why now. It was because the sacred Sakura hadn't even been planted then.
But don't you think that tree looked a lot different than how it does now?
The sacred sakura is within my purview at the shrine, so obviously I get to prune it exactly how I like it.
Ugh. Now we see who's pulling the strings.
I'm joking. That tree has been through a lot since it first sprouted. We have the loving care of Kitsune over the ages to thank for how it appears today. And obviously I played my part too. It's fair to say that very little time passed between the moment you came out of that realm and the moment you re-entered it. But in that same time, centuries of battling took place on the inside, did it not? Traveler, if I'm guessing correctly, you were repeating your wishes to yourself in your mind, weren't you?
Natürlich.
At that time, I could sense A's whereabouts, but I also sensed anomalies in the flow of time within that space. Suffice to say, time added a whole new dimension to our search. Simply establishing a location was not sufficient. Fortunately, your will was strong enough that the turbulence carried you to the moment in time most likely to be the intersection of all that you were wishing for. The flow of turbulence may well have been influenced by Makoto, but it took everyone's efforts combined to ultimately help A. So this time, it looks like thanks are due to you.
Does that mean it wasn't by chance that we ended up at the final duel? We were always meant to be there to witness what was going to happen?
Vielleicht ist es das, was der Shogun meinte mit eine Unausweichlichkeit des Schicksals.
I thought that the flow of time was the same on the inside and the outside. So it was a great shock to me when the traveler reappeared. My first thought was, has a great disaster befallen Inazuma? But it turned out you had come to rescue me. You came for my sake, to help me reach the best possible outcome.
Ah ja, bist Waifu. Ich würde alles für dich tun.
You too have my thanks. You have done much for me, and I will never forget it.
Komm in mein Team.
A, how are you feeling now?
My body has fully recovered, and the Shogun's will no longer fights against me.
Always thrilled to hear you're in good health. But I was really asking about your emotions. Have you managed to calm down? After all, you saw Makoto in there, didn't you?
I only heard her voice. I wouldn't say I saw her. I'll be fine. It brought a few things back, of course, but I've made my decision to move forward.
Shit.
I have to say, this has reminded me once again just how brilliant Makoto was. She predicted all the ways in which Inazuma's future could unfold, all the way back then. She even factored my immaturity into her plan. It's all thanks to her that Inazuma lived to see this day.
Makoto war brillant, aber ey, du hast auch einen entscheidenden Beitrag geleistet. Ich mach aber ey, ich schleibe ein bisschen.
I just planted a seed.
Dein und ihr Wille waren beide unverzichtbar.
Yeah, it was thanks to everything you did that you got to see her again. That's amazing.
Der letzte Akt könnte ein einfacher sein. Nur weil Ursachen und Wirkungen vertauscht wurden, heißt das nicht, dass du die Rolle, die du gespielt hast, unterbewerten solltest.
Thank you.
Today, at long last, you and Inazuma finally emerge from the shadows cast by the events of centuries past. Makoto and you are Inazuma's past and future, and both are indispensable.
It's rare to hear such comforting words from you. I graciously accept them.
Oh, come on. You only think it's rare because you never used to listen to a word I say.
Makoto said the exact same thing.
Great minds think alike, hmm? I wonder, does that qualify me to, maybe, take the position of Shogun for a couple of days?
Ooh.
Actually, no. Forget that. Far more trouble than it's worth.
We will have to end the frivolities there. There is much work to be done. The Shogun and I will closely review the Inazuma of today to find out where things currently stand. Then, we will give careful consideration to the future. After that, I will abolish the Sakoku decree.
Really? That's huge news.
Ich dachte, es wäre schon weg.
I am no longer pursuing an eternity defined by stasis. In which case, there is no further need to keep the nation under lock and key.
Ooh.
I don't doubt that many challenges lie ahead for Inazuma.
Aber aus diesen Herausforderungen werden neue Chancen erwachsen.
I'm looking forward to it.
Shit.
Hey, Traveler! Remember that pit at the bottom of the chasm? You know, the one that the giant pillar smashed into. Paimon took a quick peek before we left last time. There was some kind of light coming from inside. Don't you think that's a little strange? Oh, so you've been wondering about that too, huh? Now that we have some time on our hands, let's go and take another look.
Alles mit der Ruhe.
Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them.
Über die Herausforderung.
Abolishing the Sakoku decree has a myriad of implications. It would be folly to say that it will be all positive, and there will be no negative repercussions. For example, I can foresee the outside world posing a threat to Inazuma's businesses. These are the issues that I must work to solve.
Ja.
Hey, you're thinking about this all so conscientiously. I've only got as far as wondering whether I'll be able to sell entrance tickets to the Grand Narukami Shrine in the future.
Honestly, Miko, many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them.
Über den Blick der Götter.
Makoto's gaze was always fixed on the people of Inazuma. I always assumed it was because that was her duty. But now, I see that hers was a gaze full of delight and hope. It was not just a duty, but a joy too. She loved humanity very dearly.
If the people of the past deserve the god's attention, then so do the people of the future.
Ja.
Indeed. No longer will I ignore their passions and dreams.
Machst du gut so.
Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them.
Über die Jahrhunderte des Duellierens.
To put it bluntly, it was constant torture, with no end in sight. Faced with an endless battle, I had to remain focused at all times. Had my concentration lapsed for but a moment, the Shogun's blade would have taken my life. Safe to say, were it not for my previous experiences in combat, my skills would not have been up to the challenge. And through it all, you also had your part to play.
Ja, kein Problem.
Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them.
Über den Schaden an der heiligen Sakura.
Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I will be sure to remind the Tenryo and Yashiro commissions of their duties in this regard. It's not only the monsters that I am worried about. I'm concerned about what else might escape from the sacred Sakura.
Okay.
That's a tough one, all right. There's plenty more besides memories held in the ley lines.
Since you clearly understand, perhaps you could think about making an effort too. Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them.
Ja, Miko sagt, dass sie ihren Gott...
Yai Miko said nothing of the sort, and the traveler has some nerve making up spurious claims about her while she is still present. Some words are not to be passed on.
Hey.
Trust me, you don't want to know the cost of betraying me. Just think of the things I said to you as our little secret. Understood.
Ausnahmsweise. Ist nicht so, als hätte ich Angst vor dir.
What are you talking about?
Nix.
Nothing. Ooh, I suddenly want some fried tofu.
Many challenges still lie ahead for Inazuma, but I am prepared for them.
Ich habe keine weiteren Fragen. Adieu. Mommel. Ja, falsch. Geht doch. Wunderschön. Da, den kann ich jetzt machen zwischen. Nee, warte, Zwischenkapitel da. Zweiter Akt. Das ist Sumeru. Weiter geht's durch dichten Rauch und dunklen Wald. Das wollen wir aber morgen machen. Genau. Jetzt erstmal dahin. Neue Woche, neues Naku-Kraut. Oh, habe ich schon?
Add astro. Thank you for
No problem.
add astro.
So. Ach so. Kann ich einen neuen freischalten? Ne, machen wir. Oh, Tau einfach. Doch nicht angenommen. Gut so. Ich habe eh schon zu viel angenommen. Da. Die will ich alle wahrscheinlich auslösen sonst. Lass mal ein paar geschlossen. Hauptsache ausgegeben. Die Schlüssel. So. Was können wir Schönes machen? Neue Ansehenaufträge. Machen wir doch gern. Auf nach Liyue. Tada! Oma Shane, hast du was? Hey, ja. Ui. Hören sich gerne an. Kaufe ich alle. Alles meins. Keine Ahnung, ob ich die brauche. Aber meins. Du kannst, nachdem du dein Abschussrohr platziert hast, kannst du im Menü Zündervorbereitung den Parameter für das Feuerwerk auswählen. Zum Beispiel Art und Reihenfolge, um sie ganz nach dem Geschmack zu zünden. Wenn du das Feuerwerk fertig getünnt hast, in dem Kampf ziehst oder dich zu weit vom Feuerwerk entfernst, werden die Abschussrohre automatisch zurückgeholt. Du kannst den Modus Modifikation deines Abschussrohrs nutzen, um den ursprünglichen Stil des Feuerwerks nach deinem Geschmack zu modifizieren. Kreiere pyrotechnische Effekte nach Wunsch. Hört sich cool an. Ein Urgestein, Dankeschön. Hello. Uns fehlt 60, würde ich sagen, ne? Kopfgeld macht 300. Und die machen 120, macht 420. Wieso will der jedes Mal Eisen, ey? Ui, Kiste. Dankeschön. Ich komme ja schon. Lalalala. Ah, kaum Punkte gemacht, du. 100 drauf sind 1430, 1491. So, also knapp 110 fehlen noch. Was brauchst du Schönes? Schon wieder Seitenblumen. Hier sind sie. Der andere will Eisen. Katastrophe. Bring den 2 Schinken. Oh, habe ich Schinken? Das ist immer die Frage, ne? Ich hoffe, ich habe 2 Schinke. Ja, Glück gehabt. Gönn dir. Hält auf Probe. Erfülle 20 Bitten der Bewohner. Kein Problem. Zubereiten. Ich muss wieder 20 Mal kochen. Wir haben eine schöne neue Woche. Da. Noch einmal Sahne. Knapp. Oh, ich habe fast 300 Eier, Alter. Krass. Letzte Mal. Jetzt nochmal 5, da gibt es noch 2. Jetzt noch 3. Perfekt. 20 Mal erledigt. Jetzt kommt die letzte Bitte. Habe wieder 10 Brocken Eisen, gell? Perfekt. Jetzt voll der Nei. Gleich neben einem Kiste gespawnt. Sehr schön. Aber wir müssen in die Richtung. Gleich kaputt machen. Bam, bam, bam. Hä? Und da. Komm, zeig dich. Nee, das ist nicht der. Ich dachte schon. Gegen einen Schleim, das kann nicht sein. Das wäre das allererste Mal gewesen. Da ist er ja.
As a dutiful maid would.
Ui, 86. Take this. Boom. Geht doch. Judgment.
Lightning flash! Time for a light show!
Gib ihm.
I'll catch up.
Fire hazard!
Fire Hazard. Komm, brenn, brenn.
Here come the fireworks! Lightning flash!
Geht doch.
You can't run! Punishment!
Also immun gegen Eis. Ich hab's gar nicht gemerkt. Das war ein harter Arbeitstag. Da übersieht man sowas mal. Da. Ui. Ui.
Spot. Leave it all to me. Time to clean up.
Heilen, heilen, heilen. Geht doch.
For a light show! A fist of retreat!
Da, da. Verbrenne.
Take this!
Steady as stone.
Also die mir so auf den Sack gehabt.
I'll catch up. Komm, überlad ihn, genau. Mehr, mehr, mehr. Ey.
Lightning flash!
Leave it all to me.
Fire hazard!
Fire Hazard.
Here come the fireworks!
Komm. Geht doch. Heilung, Heilung, Heilung. So. Ui, ihr zwei seid hier.
One may have won the kite flying competition, Yuhung, but this prize should truly be reserved for another.
You need not be so humble, honored Adeptus. Among all the kites, yours was quite literally a cut above the rest. Please accept this prize.
Gönn dir.
Besides, I'm quite certain we owe a fair share of the success of this year's lantern rite to you.
If you insist, then one can hardly continue to refuse. However, there is another matter with which one would ask your assistance.
Oh.
Of course.
One would be much obliged if you could distribute this case of Sunglow tea among the Millilith on duty. The security of the festivities rests entirely on their shoulders, after all.
Sie hat Schnauze voll davon,
One
ne?
presumes they could always benefit from something to invigorate their
Hat viel zu
spirits.
viel gekauft und muss jetzt trinken, trinken, trinken.
god retainer is so thoughtful and attentive to others' needs. I would expect nothing less of an esteemed adeptus such as herself.
Hä? Hat sie nicht gesagt, sie mag keine Adepten mehr? Oder war das nicht in ihrer Story? So, dass sie gesagt hat, wir brauchen keine Adepten.
Understood. I'll get on that right away.
A fortuitous result indeed. One's tea surplus has hitherto resolved itself.
Up and away.
Up and away. Perfekt. Verringert den Elektrowiderstand des Ziels. Immun gegen Pyroschaden. Das ist kacke. Easy. Und nur 2 Stück. Aber. Habe ich für dich was? Oh, geht. Dann machen wir doch. Hoch mit der Dame.
That's the
Wie viel brauche ich? Kann ich wenigstens einmal sehen oder 10er Ziehung machen? Noch 4 Stück. Collie, kann ich nicht machen? Nein. Kujusara? Ja, die kann ich machen. Sehr schön.
My bow sounds in peak.
Noch 3. Geht auch. Noch 2. Geht auch, sehr schön. Noch ein einziges. Shit. Oh, jetzt habe ich es perfekt. Perfekt. Wunderschön. Ja, aber die kann ich auch gleich machen. Obwohl ich schon habe, egal. Habe ich halt einen mehr. Aber die, wo ich kann, mache ich alle kurz. Perfekt. Dann habe ich nur einen, wo nicht geht. Unsere Collie. Weil ich die Pilze noch nicht habe. So, dann machen wir doch eine schöne 10er Ziehung. Schadet nicht. Da kann ich leider nicht machen. Mir fehlen ungefähr, genau 99 fehlen mir. Dann könnte ich nochmal eine Heater machen, aber dann können wir dann vielleicht morgen, schaffen wir es die? Ja, bestimmt, 100 Stück. Daily und die Mission ist schon über 100. Wenn wir die Zwischenprüfung schaffen, die Zwischenakt-Mission schaffen. Hauptmission. Machen wir erstmal den hier. Komm. Leute. Gold, 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 Gold. Na Mann, ey. Will nicht klappen. Wenigstens einen neuen Charakter. Das ist schon 5. 6., 7., 8. Ey, ich kriege immer nur Waffen bei denen. Das war immer so. Ich weiß nicht, wieso ich bei der Erziehung immer nur Waffen bekomme. Das ist Katastrophe. Ich glaube, ich habe hier ganz selten Charaktere bekommen. Das ist eine Katastrophe. Favonius Codex. Haben wir den schon? Ne, wir haben nur ein einziges Buch. Opferritual. Ja, nicht schlecht. Erst Büchle. Favonius Codex. Allgemein, wir haben nur... Das ist ja schon der 3. Katalysator, ja? Ja. Nicht schlecht. Machen wir den gleich auf 20. So, und wem geben wir ihn? Ah ja. Passt so. Und was ist überhaupt die Waffe? Was kann die? Er schafft bei einem KT mit einer Wahrscheinlichkeit von 60% ein Elementarteilchen. Naja, kann man lassen. Ist kein bestimmtes Element, was er braucht. Ja, jetzt zu wenig, oder? Ja. Egal, wenigstens ein Level. Aber T-Taste müssen wir noch kurz rüber. Genau. Hello.
Would you care to...
Wunderschön. Eins, 2, 3, 4. Bambus. Birkenholz. Da auch. Dann holen wir uns noch Birkenholz. Perfekt.
If you ever... I think. Instead, let's watch the fireworks together in silence. You can record the beautiful scenery and all the things you want to say down. Not that this is the end, of course. On the contrary, I believe that our story...
Aber ich denke, das war's für heute. Danke fürs Zuschauen. Hier war Robi von RNR Production. Das war Genshin Impact Part 64. Hoffe, es hat euch gefallen. Kommentiert, subscribt und ich hoffe, wir sehen uns das nächste Mal. Bye bye und ciao.